Despite being the shortest month in the year, February saw the most farm murders in a single month since 1990. In 46 attacks, 16 people were killed. Over the past 27 years, there have been 4,200 attacks and 1,878 people paid with their lives. What makes these incidents different from normal crime patterns is that instead of waiting until there is no one home, they seem to deliberately wait for the victims to arrive. They are then often tortured in the most barbaric ways before being killed or left for dead. Black farmers constitute around 6% of South Africa's commercial farmers, and correspondingly, around 6% of those attacked or murdered are black. The National African Farmers Association says violent crime goes hand in hand with all rural life.
The rural attacks that are happening on a daily basis, you can't understand. Whilst we are sitting here in Johannesburg, our mothers are being raped on a daily basis in our rural area. Our sisters are being attacked on a daily basis. It's not a private farm of Mr. Serfontein, of Mr. Yancey. The criminals are attacking everybody where they see that it's a soft target.
While white farmers agree that some attacks have other causes, they feel that reckless politicians trying to score points are adding fuel to the fire.
And because I don't have a car,
Black First, Land First say they don't support murders, but they don't have much sympathy with the white farmers.
We do understand that black people are upset and angry, and rightfully so, because land has been stolen historically and it needs to be returned. And so if black people are responding to that violence with violence, then they are well in their rights to take back land by any means necessary.
Inciting violence is one thing, but hiring assassins is another. We received a copy of a very interesting conversation between a national intelligence agent and a so-called general of the notorious prison gang, the 28s. He spent more than 20 years in jail for farm murders and was released in December.
Hulle het my ook gesê binnekant wanneer ek uitkom dan moet ek kontak maak met Julius Malema, die ou van Limpopo, van die EFF. Want hy was ook nou hier nou in September. Toe was Julius Malema, toe was hy by Pretoria, New Look. Toe kom hy daar by New Look, toe vra hy daar, toe sê hy daar, wanneer julle bendes wil 'n goue span hê, wanneer jy wil 'n span hê, kom check my by Limpopo. Ek gaan julle 'n span gee, wat ek julle gaan gee daar is 'n balaclava, 'n gun en cash. Want hy sê daar hy steun die boere. Die Julius Malema. Hy sê jy moet net vir my 'n paar moorde pleeg op boere plase.
We invited Mr. Malema to respond to us either on camera or in writing, but simply received a one-line reply from the EFF stating that the CIC is not available to take the interview due to his busy schedule. This very serious accusation is still unverified, but until Julius Malema responds, it remains extremely worrying. Farnes Farms in Levubu in the Soutpansberg. His neighbor was murdered recently.
Hy het die ingery hier opgery op pad na sy huis toe. Waar op sy bakkie gespring het, min of meer hier. En hom met 'n mes begin steek het deur die venster wat oop was, hier in sy skouer. Hy het teruggestoot en toe hy met spoed weggetrek daar en die stuurwiel het gesluit. En tot stilstand gekom daar waar my voertuig staan. Hulle het hom daar uitgehaal uit sy voertuig uit. Hulle het hom teruggesleep, al die pad terug, so omtrent 50 meter van waar die bakkie staan.
The children were still too traumatized to speak to us. They're trying to get the farm going again. One of the first farm murders in the region happened in the Bandelierkop district. Ernest Breitenbach now lives in the same house his dad lived in before him.
They actually put the number plate of the bakkie at his feet and the stoplights. They tied it to his feet with electrical wire, and as well as the front flicker lights. They also tied on both sides of his head, and they actually left him like that.
All the farmers in the area helped to search for his dad.
My one cousin that was also with me, he actually came from the front, and when I saw my father, I actually fainted.
This happened 19 years ago, but Ernest will never forget that day.
And then we aren't totally over it at the moment, but it's still in our thoughts and our minds of anything could happen again at any moment, and we have to prepare ourselves for any type of anything that could happen.
Herman also now lives in the house where his father was murdered.
Dit vat jou 10 jaar om weer normaal te lewe. Die eerste 10 jaar was baie moeilik. Hulle sê die meeste boerderye na so 'n plaasaanval misluk, gaan nie aan, dit word gestaak. Ek het dit self ervaar. Jy kan nie meer in die aand ry en 'n pomp gaan afsit nie. Ons is besproeiingsboere, ons het pompe wat ek deur die nag moet aan afsit.
The remoteness of the homesteads, coupled with the relentless attacks, torture and murders, changed their lifestyles forever. The farmers have been forced to take responsibility for their own safety.
Ek het staalhokke gemaak wat buite die vensters op is. Dat hy nie kan inkom nie. Dis 'n staalhok met nog die wering by die venster. Dit gaan my daai voorsprong gee. Ek gaan hoor as hy aan daai staalhok breek.
Fani is another Levubu farmer who has had to adapt.
Hoe verkeerd is dit dat ek 'n kind van 10 jaar en 8 jaar moet leer hoe om 'n wapen te hanteer, net vir daai ingeval eendag as pappa of mamma seer gekry het en hulle moet hulle self kan verdedig.
And every day at sunset, the idyllic surroundings make way for the same repetitive nightmare.
In die aand het jy 'n ritueel waardeur jy gaan om al jou wapens, jou kluis word oopgesluit, jy wapens word reggesit, wapens word nagegaan, radio's word getoets. Dis heeltemal 'n ander lewe as wat ons gewoond was.
Voor dit donker is, soos in die huis, dan maak ek seker al die deure is gesluit. Ek maak seker my wapen is reg, is by my vrou se wapen is by haar.
Most farming communities now have a farm watch, with the farmers doing their own patrols at night.
By my gaan ek nie alleen uit nie. Baie mense kan sê ek is bang. Ek is nie bang nie. Ek is net nie dom nie.
All of Farnas's direct neighbors have suffered attacks. When an attack happens, all the other farmers are on the response team. This means that virtually every farmer has witnessed the horror perpetrated on a close friend.
Soos hier by my in die omgewing, by oom Henny, my buurman, oom Jan, wat ook ons langs buurman is, by Hannes Kelly, by oom Niels Marits. Dit was fisies, dit was aanvalle, waar hulle gekap is en waar daar bloed was en waar dood was.
Many view the senseless and extreme violence as a terror campaign aimed at driving the remaining farmers off their land.
If you have observed a farm killing next to you, or you are from a farmer that you know, obviously you will be totally discouraged, especially with your family, your wife and your kids.
Agri claims it only reaches the media when there are white people involved.
The people who feel that white farmers are really targeted are the ones who are making an unnecessary noise about the whole issue. We don't see this as a... Well, of course, any crime, we take it as just any other crime.
To many farmers, their occupation is a calling, and central to that is our food security. Henry Geldenhuys from Tau SA says we will all feel the loss eventually.
Verseker speel plaasaanvalle en moorde speel 'n negatiewe rol ten opsigte van voedselsekerheid en kos op die tafel.
Ernst Roots from AfriForum agrees.
We're nearing the point where we import more food than we export. And we also find that land reform, farms taken from white people and given to black people, 90% of them have failed, according to government. So farmers are employers and they are food creators, and they have a very crucial role to play in this economy. And if farmers are not there anymore, the problems that we have, or the debate about land reform, would really be like an ant compared to an elephant if you compare this to hunger, and the mass amount of poverty and the problems that this country would have if we did not have farmers.
But there's also another theory that instead of uplifting the poor, it's better to reach equality by destroying all wealth not equally owned, including food security.
Black people aren't food secure. And so when people talk about food security, it's based on their own anxieties and fears that are unfairly entrenching their own wealth and not dealing with with black people who are going hungry every single day.
This week, AfriForum won a court interdict against Julius Malema.
We had Julius Malema and the leadership of the EFF coming out threatening that in April there's going to be this big uprising and they're going to encourage, or they actually started encouraging people to engage in illegal land grabs. So what we've done at AfriForum, together with AfriBusiness, was to approach the High Court to get a court order that prohibits Malema in person and the EFF as an organization to encourage people, to continue encouraging people to do this. So in other words, if they do continue, that would effectively mean that they would be in contempt of court and they would be liable for criminal charges.
Afrikaner boys, the poppers will dance. The EFF is coming for you, boys. Afrikaner boys, the ANC has made you to think this thing is still Orange Free State. This thing is not Orange Free State. This is Free State. When we take over power, Afrikaner males, you will know your place.
One cannot just run away from anything. If you are born into it, that's the way it has to happen.
Hier is my plaas, hier is my lewe, dis my passie. Hoekom moet ek my passie opgee vir so iets?
Ek wil nie iets anders doen nie. Ek is hier, ek boer. Dis my lewe. Dis my lewe, Liverpool is my plek.